Cars, computers, art, and jewelry are often the target of robberies and thefts. But what about candy and, toes? And even a glacier? Yes, really, here are the weirdest heists in history. Ice. Climate change skeptics have acquired a new explanation for why glaciers are retreating. It's not global warming, it's theft. Police in Chile has arrested a man on suspicion of stealing 5 tons of ice, an estimated 3,900 pounds worth of illicit ice, from the Jorge Montt Glacier in the Patagonia region to sell as designer ice cubes in bars and restaurants. Authorities have accused the driver of theft and are considering adding violation of national monuments to the charge sheet. Scientists say Jorge Montt, part of the Bernardo O'Higgins National Park, is retreating by half a mile a year, making it one of the world's fastest shrinking glaciers. Environmentalists have cited it as evidence that man-made climate change is warming the planet. Skeptics have cited other explanations for retreating glaciers, but theft, until now, was not one of them. It may be the only case in which both sides agree human activity was to blame. His get-rich-quick scheme might not have worked out, but you have to admire this thief's sheer tenacity. Pudding pilferer. A hapless Japanese thief has got himself into a sticky spot with police after being arrested for breaking into offices and raiding refrigerators to binge on sweet treats. Yasuhiro Wakashima, 51, is accused of gobbling down over 250 desserts during more than 40 incidents since 2013, with ice cream, chocolate, and puddings top of his wish list. The suspect, an unemployed man from the central prefecture of Ishikawa, was dubbed Sugar by investigators following his high cholesterol trail. Wakashima was caught on surveillance video pilfering fridges across Tokyo and in his home prefecture. Police also used DNA evidence to get their man, who is said to have left crumbs and leftovers at the crime scenes. In addition to a 1 in disregard for calories, the suspect was reportedly suspected of pinching a pair of sandals. Wakashima, who was shown on television being led away by police with head bowed, has confessed to eating the sweet treats, according to local media, adding he caused almost $50,000 in losses. I guess a 1 in disregard for calories wasn't his only weakness. Human toes. A man has admitted to stealing 2 human toes in New Zealand. Joshua Williams, 28, was arrested after plucking the middle and index toes from the body of a woman being publicly exhibited in Auckland and then bragging about it on social media. On Monday, he pleaded guilty to charges of theft and interfering with human remains in the Wellington District Court. The court heard Williams was visiting the Traveling Body Worlds exhibition, which features dissected bodies preserved through plastination, in May when he suddenly decided to grab and pocket the digits from an unguarded foot. He then gave one away and posted a photo of the other online, prosecutors said. Core to the Body Worlds Festival. I stole a toe from an uncovered display, Williams wrote on Instagram. I saw them so I took them. Sorry, he told police officers later. The exhibition's owners say it will cost about 5,500 New Zealand dollars to replace the pair. Only 1 toe has been recovered. Williams is scheduled for sentencing later in the year. Go beach, or go home. Thieves in Jamaica have embarrassed police and triggered a political row by stealing a beach, and making a clean getaway. Hundreds of tons of white sand vanished from a planned resort on the island's north coast in July, but 3 months later there is no sign of suspects nor sand. An estimated 500 truckloads of sand were removed from the Coral Spring Beach in Trelawney and were believed to have been sold to rival resorts, a hefty logistical feat that has stumped police. A lot of sand is used in unregulated home building across the Caribbean island, but the scale and organization behind the Trelawney heist, amounting to 400 meters, 1,300 feet, of strand, raised suspicions that hotels may have been involved. The Prime Minister, Bruce Golding, has reportedly taken a special interest in the case. The opposition People's National Party has alleged a cover-up. Developers of the planned $108 million, £63 million, Coral Spring Complex have suspended operations and commissioned an environmental study into the impact of the missing beach on nearby salt pans, mangroves, and dry limestone forests. The Jamaica Environmental Advocacy Network has expressed concern and urged authorities to investigate hotels that were under construction at the time of the theft. Despite whisperings that some of the stolen sand had been found at 2 North Coast resorts, the complexities of the case meant no official arrests were made. Who knew you could get away with stealing a whole beach? Bull semen. Nearly 3,500 units of sperm were stolen from the back of Anthony Race in 2016, enough to potentially impregnate more than 1,000 cattle, according to the station. Race had spent months collecting the semen, reportedly worth nearly $50,000, from his bulls, including one considered the 5th most prized bull in the world. Collected 2 to 3 times a week, The highly prized semen is shipped to farms in California and across the world to impregnate cattle, according to the station. The animals are considered the cream of the crop and are selected for their genetic value. Race also says the thieves stole gas out of his truck and most likely have no clue what else they took. Fajita heist. Gilberto Escamilla, 53, was employed at the Darrell B. Hester Juvenile Detention Center in San Benito, Texas, until August 2017, when it was discovered that he had been placing orders for fajitas using county funds and then selling them for his profit since December 2008. When sentenced on Friday, Escamilla was also served with a maximum fine of $10,000 on top of the $1,251,578.72 he was ordered to pay back for the cost of the fajitas. Escamilla's scheme unraveled last August after a delivery driver with Labatt Food Service phoned the detention center to give kitchen employees a heads up that an 800-pound delivery of fajitas had arrived. Employees immediately thought the delivery to be suspicious as minors at the detention center are not served fajitas. However, the delivery driver insisted that it had been delivering fajitas to the detention center's kitchen for the past 9 years. After being fired and arrested, Escamilla's house was searched by police, who found packages of the fajitas in his refrigerator. Texas State District Judge J. Manuel Benales, who handed down the sentence, dismissed an additional theft charge as part of an earlier plea deal made by Escamilla. Because Escamilla stole more than $200,000 worth of goods, Texas law considers the crime to be a first-degree felony and allows for the sentencing of up to 99 years in prison. It also allows for more severe punishment if the defendant commits a crime while acting as a public servant. Lawn envy. A front lawn is like a gateway to home, so there's little wonder so many people take pride in its upkeep. Denise Thompson, of Edmonton, Canada, thought she had a beautiful front lawn, lush and green. It was where her 4 children and 2 dogs played, and where she drank coffee on sunny mornings. But then it mysteriously disappeared, and whoever took it didn't immediately leave a note. Mrs. Thompson and the children went to visit her husband in Stettler, Alberta, last Friday morning. They returned to their home in the city's Kilkenny area on Sunday afternoon. The family entered through the back door and everything appeared normal. Mrs. Thompson then opened the blinds on the large picture window in the front room. All that faced her was a plot of ugly brown dirt. Mrs. Thompson said, "My place looked like I'm a farmer who just plowed it and was ready to put their seeds down." She immediately went looking for a note from someone explaining their actions. She found nothing. Mrs. Thompson called on neighbors and several said they saw a white truck and trailer parked at her house. No one thought it was suspicious because they assumed it was just another landscaping job. Turns out they were right, except that the landscaper simply got the wrong house and the wrong street. On Monday evening, Mrs. Thompson found a note on her front door from an embarrassed Patrick Kokanu, owner of Kupak Landscapes Limited, explaining what had happened. He explained in the note that on Saturday night he went to check on how his work crew was coming along with the job. Then he realized they had got the wrong house. Mr. Kokanu said, "We just want to say to Denise we are sorry, it's a mistake." He has offered to have a crew replace the grass as soon as they can. Mrs. Thompson admits she was angry initially but ended up relieved by Kokanu's sincere apology and offer to make things right. Among all the heists mentioned, which one do you think is the most ridiculous? Let us know in the comments section. If you find the video interesting, drop a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.